Hello, Earthlings. This is Deb Helfrich, hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk. I'm also the founder of hashtag Wellbeing Philosophy, and this is about funding me to create the Wellbeing Philosophy Institute to make clear, anti-racist, life-centric thinking about human potential a necessary global public good. I'm a degreed philosopher from Carnegie Mellon University who spent 2 decades as a payroll implementation software consultant. I've lost my 40s to chronic disease that came from a toxic mold exposure. I've also spent my life morbidly obese since I was an infant. Using the skills and strategies of my philosophical training, I've created a new way to think about how we think about being human. That's what well-being philosophy is all about. It's a new branch of philosophy to take the skills of critical thinking, analytically creative thinking, to unite African, Eastern, and Western approaches to do-it-yourself healthcare. My intellectual property is worth, well, I don't know. You pick billion, trillion. It's an entirely new category of uniting physical health and mental health under the umbrella of placebo tools. The placebo effect is a problem for pharma. But somebody sometime had to realize if we study this well enough, we can start to create placebo tools that people can implement, do-it-yourself strategies for staying well in that vast spectrum of personal responsibility for our own health before you end up tipping into injury, disease, and becoming a lifelong member of the Western medicine conveyor belt. Now, this is very early days. I've demonstrated the efficacy of these theories. It's really philosophical hypotheses. I'm about motivating people. I'm about challenging the paradigms. I'm about looking into, we've gotten a great deal right, but then there's all this other stuff that doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. It's illogical. That's what I was born to help solve. I've demonstrated these theories in practical application by losing 150 pounds in the 15 months after turning 50. I have enacted a midlife metamorphosis that really needs to circulate. The principles and the strategies I used are based on evolutionary logic. What unites us all as a species, as Homo sapiens sapiens, is knowledge turned into wisdom. We are the pinnacle of evolution, us humans. And look at what has transpired in 2020. One unexpected thing is that the leading region in the world in containing and managing coronavirus is turning out to be Africa. Evolution states that we're all Africans ancestrally. beyond my dedication to re-explaining human health, and there is a great deal of intellectual property there, take a stage, become a stand-up philosopher. So doing this, being a performer, this is the outcome of my midlife metamorphosis. I was a quiet, software consultant, introvert. And as I've regained my health, as my energy has skyrocketed, it turns out I am great at improvisational, Socratic monologues. This is the tip of my iceberg of my career. I'm going to go out in the rest of my 50s and become, the concept of stage is now on Zoom, is create a platform, a channel, a YouTube home for stand-up philosophy. That's the hashtag redheaded She-Hulk. Then the bulk of the iceberg is founding the Wellbeing Philosophy Institute to take all of the in-your-face, fierce, raging Hulk of love and turn it into impactful entercation. Edutainment, it's a nice word, but philosophy is not going to sell in a pandemic world. We got to lead with the enter and then follow up with the cation. So I'm creating the globe's original entercation empire, and nearly everything I do is creative. It's integrative in that way. It is reverse engineering. It is pivoting. There's a very robust opportunity here. I'm looking for seed investment. I'm looking for basically 3 years of an annual salary, 300 grand, most of which, any of which, the first of which will go to finding collaborators. So just want to keep a roof over my head and then have the ability to actually pay people to assist me in this process. That 300 grand can be secured by whatever contract I get, because this YouTube, patron my podcast initial phase, I'm pretty certain I can deliver a Netflix streaming deal within those 3 years, probably under 18 months. I see myself as Dave Chappelle's soulmate, as Hannah Gadsby's soulmate, comedy soulmate, professional, and Eddie Izzard. I'm the fourth in that quartet. Then we'll also find the CEO who can really make the Wellbeing Philosophy Institute a think bike. Got to get rid of that tank, got to get rid of all of those metaphors. A think bike, eco-friendly, human-powered thinking. Distributed across the globe, localized. Small little, Khan Academy type videos describing critical thinking, which I like to call creatively analytical thinking. It's the improvisation, the performance aspect of this that guarantees that an investment in me in 2021 leads to abundance. And we can follow a myriad of paths to get there. But I am dedicating my life to demolishing racism this decade. And I am, as far as I've seen so far, the only one saying that anti-racism is the first priority of getting human health, all of our chronic disease, our ever escalating obesity stats. In order to get clear about what's wrong with our health, why Western medicine with all of its data and studies is failing, we gotta look at the fact that we don't even know what skin means. We don't understand melanin very well because it's a superpower. We don't understand gender. We don't understand sexuality. How the hell is our species supposed to keep reproducing in a world where pregnancy is a disability and moms are forced to stop nurturing, nursing, holding, cuddling, being there for their infants in just a handful of weeks. That's a small, brief intro to who I am, the complexity of my thinking, the visionary aspect of what I want to bring to the world as a stand-up performer, and then as the wise, feminine, she Socrates of this point in history. Email me at your earliest convenience, debhelfrich@gmail.com, and let's Zoom. I need support. I need collaborators. And I want to share my love with the entire globe. Thank you so much for investing your time and listening to this. This has been Deb Helfrich. Lots of videos on YouTube if you want to really check me out, but just holler. Harmony, y'all.